Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Members, it's been a long and difficult day, and I would appreciate just a couple minutes of your attention, if you don't mind. I have risen to speak against House Bill 229. Members, the messaging that we all see regarding trans communities, attacking them in ways that are derogatory, wholly inaccurate. We've been inundated with hyperbolic and alarming messaging, really using the most egregious and ugly language and imaging. These damaging narratives would have us believe the very worst of each other. Can I please have your attention? I'm concerned about these narratives that would have us believe the worst of each other. And these things are repeated over and over and over again. In social media circles, they're shared by email and text messages, and even in testimony that we see here in the Capitol. I have seen truly horrendous narratives repeated by elected officials. Y'all, these people are just humans trying to live their lives and pursue their own personal happiness. That's why I say that trans and intersex rights are human rights. These folks literally just want the same freedoms that you and I enjoy. Members, not only is much of the messaging that we're inundated with just plain false and misleading, I honestly believe it's being driven intentionally to marginalize and scapegoat a small and misunderstood community for political gain. And I have to tell you all, when one group is marginalized at the expense of another, when they're scapegoated and attacked over and over again, to stoke fear and hate, which can lead to physical harm of these people, all for political and personal gain, that truly disturbs me. And any of you who are ever bullied in life, I would hope that would bother you too. Now, please don't get me wrong, all right? I know that folks earnestly hold their beliefs, and I do feel that members in this chamber are truly trying to do good for their communities. And the motivation for many is positive. I think sometimes well-intentioned efforts can lead to dangerous consequences. I do believe that most here who align with the bill author are truly believe in their hearts they're trying to help women. But I want to invite you all to consider a slightly different perspective. What if this bill actually ends up being harmful to some people? Is it okay to hurt some people to save other people? The rhetoric that we see around this, I don't mean specifically in the bill, but what fosters because of it, really foments discrimination, and it risks violent interactions against trans and intersex people. And honestly, if y'all are trying to protect women, what about the women who present sort of manly? Like y'all heard about the lady who was accosted in a Target bathroom because somebody thought that she did not seem female enough or feminine enough to be used in a women's restroom. Turns out it was just a lady. Y'all, according to the FBI's 2023 hate crime data, more than 500 incidents were driven by gender identity bias in 2023, which is the last full year we have records for. It's a new record high. So I ask you, don't all people deserve to live in peace and feel safe in their communities? Trans and intersex communities are a very small percentage of our population. Y'all, these are just humans trying to live their lives. They only want to be free to pursue their own happiness, just like anyone else. And that's why I will say right now, over and over again, that trans and intersex rights are human rights. They just want the same rights as the rest of us. House Bill 229 defines sex and gender in binary terms, requiring governmental entities to classify individuals as either male or female for vital statistics. The scientific community sees the issue in much more complex and nuanced ways. So I do believe the fundamental premise of the bill is deeply flawed. Any biologist knows there are variations in sex chromosomes, hormone levels, and other traits that can lead to intersex conditions, or what they call differences in sex development, DSDs, where an individual's biological characteristics don't align with typical male or female categorization. And just for intersex and DSD alone, there's a whole spectrum of possibility. So if you're trying to define this in binary terms, and just one little slice has a whole spectrum of possibility that doesn't align with the definitions in this bill. Colleagues, the bill risks the erasure of these folks, the transgender and the intersex people, and anyone who's non-binary, really. It increases the potential for discrimination in public spaces. The fear and hate that's directed at these folks threatens their livelihoods, their fundamental rights to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. So I'm just going to ask you, in your hearts, I know you have to take the vote you have to take, I get it. But ask yourself this question in your heart. Do you believe that all people, all humans, have the rights of life, liberty, and the pursuit of their personal happiness? Those are basic human rights. And that's why I say trans and intersex rights are human rights. Efforts like this bill rely on unsubstantiated claims portraying transgender individuals as dangerous threats in public spaces, but the actual data and statistics are really way different. And the truth is, if you want to protect women I'm not going to go there. No reliable data supports the arguments that transgender people commit violent crimes at a higher rate than cisgender men or women. In fact, transgender people are more than 4 times as likely to be the victims of violent crime as cisgender people, and those are people that are born with the same gender identity that matches the parts. This bill reinforces an outdated understanding of sex and gender. It erases the identity of intersex and transgender people. It perpetuates harmful stereotypes and justifies discrimination under the guise of safety. It's framed as a measure to protect women, but I assert that in reality, it will reinforce harmful and outdated stereotypes that exclude and endanger transgender and intersex and non-binary individuals. This bill fails to address real issues of discrimination and violence while deepening inequalities for our communities. The real question is, do you believe that all people have the basic rights of life, liberty, and the pursuit of their own personal happiness? Do you? That's why I'll be voting no against this bill. Thanks for your time.